up, everyone? I am the guide.
I am the Bard.
I'm the bee.
And this is the Yawhg.
Yes, this is an indie game that came out a few years ago now, and we love it to pieces. But this is actually the first time we've been able to record it because something about this game does not like its audio levels. So we found a fix, so we should be good from here. So we'll just get started, shall we? Right, I am going to be Mr. Green. You are going to be
The yellow guy.
the yellow dude, and you want to be
Lady in red.
the lady in red. So this is a narrative game where we make choices over the course of a week, and really, I think the game can speak for itself, so let's begin.
Also, your choices can affect everyone else.
Yes, they can. The Yawhg will be here in 6 weeks, and no one expects it. Not a one of us. We just keep on living our lives, week by week, unaware.
What is that sentence? Not a one of us.
It's a sentence. Right, so who's first? Me?
You.
Right, so where do I want to go?
I like the little head icons.
They are
So
cute, aren't they? I think I shall go to the palace, and I shall do some administration. Spend the week doing paperwork for the palace. You're paid 2 wealth and gain 1 mind. One day you accidentally bump into a duke. Which way are you going, filthy peasant? He shoves you out of the way with his hand and continues walking. Passive aggressive. That outfit looks really comfortable. He looks mildly insulted. Sick burn! I gain a point of charm. And now we are on to the red.
I want to go to the hospital.
Hospice?
I want to tend to the patients. You spend the week diagnosing and tending to the sick. You gain 2 mind and earn 1 wealth. One day, the hemolytic leeches somehow escape from their containers.
Oh no!
Leeches start flooding into the hallway.
I don't think that fast.
There are people screaming everywhere as leeches slither towards them. Somebody do something, yells one of the doctors. Do I have magic?
You have 5 points in magic.
You wave your hand, unleashing a wave of magic to disintegrate the leeches.
Nice.
Your magical ability isn't what you thought it was. Your spell fizzles out before it even reaches the leeches. Oh dear. Regardless, the leeches make their way out of the hospital and end up infesting all of the nearby waterbeds.
Whee! My turn.
I caused more problems than I solved.
I mean, it's more that you just couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
So what's the plan, guard?
I'm going to venture into the forest.
Nice.
And I'm going to chop some wood. Spend the week cutting down trees for the village. You gain 2 physique and earn yourself a wealth. One day you stumble across a dryad picking flowers in a field. Upon noticing you, she runs up to you excitedly. "Excuse me, sir, would you care to dance?" she asks. "I've been wanting to dance for so long, but nobody else has been around to dance with," she sighs. I'd love to dance, or I don't dance. What are dryads anyway?
Wood spirits. They're creatures that are associated with a specific tree or clump of trees from Greek mythology.
What could go wrong? She giggles and takes you by the hand. She starts humming a song and 2 of you dance together in the middle of the forest. Except you step on her toes several times whilst dancing.
That.
After the 3rd time she stops you. She thanks you for the dance and limps off into the woods. You practice dancing a little bit. I gained a finesse.
They say the last time it came, the Yawhg devoured houses whole, stole lives, tore families and family members apart.
Tasty.
That was so very long ago. Do I want to keep being an administrator? Maybe not. Let's go and do some alchemy. We'll brew potions.
And dark moustache.
You spend the week experimenting on different potion brews. You gain 2 magic and point of mind. One day, all the alchemists decide to take a break from work and instead throw a cantrip party.
That can only go so well.
Yes. One alchemist waves his hands and produces confetti. Another spawns seemingly endless number of doves from his sleeves.
It
Where
is.
are they gonna go?
Then all the alchemists turn to you to see what you come up with. I will do a simple trick, I'm not that advanced. By snapping your fingers, you change your eyebrow colour. Not bad, one of the alchemists says. You gain a magic.
Look at my eyebrows.
Now they are move.
I'm going to continue tending to the patients. You spend the week diagnosing and tending to the sick. You gain 2 mind and earn 1 wealth. One day, a patient whose voice has been cursed and replaced with piano notes will not stop talking. All the other patients are complaining that his voice is making the hospital even more depressing. The doctors have tried convincing him to stop talking, but to no avail. You start trying to sing along with his voice. You try to sing along with him, but just can't hit the right notes.
Oh dear, I think that was a charm thing.
Oh, his sound gets progressively sadder and sadder. It starts driving you slightly mad.
Oh. I think maybe you had enough mind to maybe try and work out what he was saying, but you felt like singing.
Yeah, I figured that's what he was doing.
Yeah, that's likely.
I'm gonna go to the tavern.
Gonna
I'm
go
gonna
dip.
bartend. Look at him. He looks so dapper. I want that jacket. Spend the week serving drinks at the tavern. You earn a wealth in tips and gain a couple of charm. One day, do I have the talent for this? Pulls out his lute at the bar and starts playing a tune. Unfortunately, his singing is horrible and ruining the tavern's atmosphere. Araya? No, Araya's good. I ain't slamming. I'm trying to do something about it. Now, do I have enough to take him on?
I think it's... I don't know. It's up to you, really. Take the
It's
plunge.
charm, isn't it?
Maybe.
It's either going to be charm or finesse.
You borrow the bar and his lute and challenge him to a musical duel. Play out a beautifully complex combination of arpeggios. I've probably said that wrong. The tavern roars with applause. The bard tries his best to replicate your piece, but ends up dropping his lute, snapping it in half.
Oh,
He
dear.
bows his head shamefully in defeat and walks out the tavern. I gain a finesse and a charm.
Very nice.
I'm very worried now.
It was on us in a heartbeat, or so the stories go. The earth shook. The air went still. What do I want to do today? I'm mainly focusing on mind and magic, aren't I? Maybe
Yeah.
I'll keep doing magic. I like the idea of being the magical ginger beard.
Gingerbread! Ooh.
You spend the week, yeah, we've seen this, gain magic in mind. One day an artificer stops by for a visit. She is adorned with magical gadgets and gizmos and followed everywhere by a clockwork spider. The alchemists of the tower all go out of their way to impress the artificer, offering her an array of potions and elixirs. As she's leaving, she adores the most charming of alchemists with a special trinket. The fact she didn't choose you was a very humbling experience. You gain charm.
How does that work?
Well, I suppose it's learning to be content with who you are.
You spend the week diagnosing and tending to the sick.
And we're back here again.
Yes, you gain 2 mind and earn 1 wealth. One day you hear spooky sounds echoing through the hospital. Soon afterwards, a glowing blue ghost floats down from the ceiling. She seems to be wandering the halls aimlessly, howling out horrible noises. She doesn't appear to realise that she is freaking everyone out. You decide to do something about it. You approach the spirit and try to explain to her the effect she is having on the sick. You're not convincing enough to be able to persuade her to stop her haunting. Eventually everyone gets used to her and learns to live with the creepy ghost. Your mental resolve hardens. Gain 1 mind.
Not bad. It wasn't the best result, but I don't think it went too badly.
I gained back the mind I lost last time.
Yeah.
And since I am aiming for earning mind,
I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm just sort of like a jack of all trades.
Mhm.
Oh, do I want to go there?
Go to the forest? Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to.
Spend the week cutting down trees for the village. You gain 2 physique and earn yourself a wealth. One day during your forest excursions, you stumble across a swarm of rats. At first you jump backwards in shock, but then you start to hear them conversing with one another. They call you over. "Excuse me, sir," one of them says in a high-pitched voice. That doesn't sound high-pitched, but well, it's my rat voice. "Do you think you might be able to help us out with something? You see, we're trying to elect a new leader, but it seems our votes are completely tied." Okay, I thought something else was going to happen.
Don't spoil it.
"We're trying to decide between Seedpaw the Vengeful and Blightooth the Wise," says the rat. Seedpaw steps forward. "If you vote for me, the rats will have a powerful leader, one who isn't afraid to take our fight to the enemy," proclaimed Seedpaw. Blightooth steps up. "If you vote for me, good sir, I will lead these rats to an age of enlightenment," said Blightooth. "Which rat do you choose?"
I'd be more inclined to go for wisdom, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go for wisdom as well.
It's unanimous. Half the rats roar with tiny applause. I'm trying to clap my fingers together.
I don't think the mic will pick that up.
No, it won't. Seaport bows his head and walks back into the mass of rats. Blightooth climbs up on your shoulder and whispers ancient secrets into your ear as thanks. You gain their mind and their magic.
And then the world was a howling fury. Chaos, screaming, the sound of all we knew being pulled in half.
Often literally.
Yes, and they did say family members pulled apart, and that's all you tend to know in these rural communities, so, you know, when you're just like, oh, Aunt Mabel's over there, and over there, and her intestines just landed on my head. Oh. I think I should go to the gardens.
Gardens?
I will meditate on all things magical. You spend the week in deep meditation. You gain a magic in the mind. One day you spot a man drinking water out of the pond. Suddenly
dear.
He screams. He's covered in leeches. What do you do? I have fairly good magic. Save him with magic. You let loose a magical inferno that incinerates only leeches. Quick thinking. You gain mind. And
That was a disaster I caused.
well, I solved this
it.
at least.
Yeah. You spend the week diagnosing and tending to the sick. You gain 2 minds and earn 1 wealth. One day, whilst in the maternity ward, you notice a woman about to give birth. The baby she births is no ordinary baby, however. Its skin is pitch black and shiny, and its eyes glow like an orange flame. It wrestles itself in the doctor's hands and tries to fly away. Stop that demon, yells the doctor.
It's the Antichrist.
Which is higher?
They're the same.
Oh.
You're not very strong or very magical. It's maybe magic because you have a lot of mind. That's more likely to work.
With a wave of your hand, you put up a magical barrier blocking the exit. The baby breaks right through it and flies off into the night sky.
Well, so much for that.
I tried.
I know.
So I have unleashed leeches and the Antichrist.
I'm going to chop wood again. Spend week cutting down trees for the village. Cheese!
Cut the cheese in the forest.
Well, it must be a cheese log then. Oh, okay. You gain 2 physique and only silver wealth. One day you come across a group of people in the woods. With an expression to their faces, they appear to be lost. Rob them or help them? No, help them. You confront the group and try to help them find their way back to town. With ease, you lead everyone back to town. Extremely grateful, the group gives you a small token of their appreciation. You gain 2 wealth.
Not bad for a small token. That's more than a day's wage for a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
When it arrives, this time, how will we fare? Will we rebuild once more? Move on, be strong? Or have we forgotten?
And the sea is start encroaching now.
The mist is on its way. Let's see, I've meditated, I've earned magic, I've become an administrator. I think the logical thing to do would be to go and landscape garden.
Make an elephant.
I carve an elephant in the royal garden. Finesse, physique, and earn wealth. A toothless older woman approaches you. Have small pouch of magical beans if you would be interested in purchasing them. Yeah, why not? Oh, I've got to go back there next week. I want to see what's up with my seeds.
Seeds.
Seeds for birds.
Seed for bird.
You spend the week diagnosing and tending to the sick. You gain 2 mind and earn 1 wealth.
You got enough of it? Oh dear.
One day, a patient comes into the hospital with sores that nobody's ever seen before. How's my mind doing?
Your
Mine's
mind's at 15.
Good.
It's at peak.
Whilst walking by his bedside, he looks to you and rudely asks for a glass of water. You bring him a small glass to quench his thirst. He takes a large swig, swigs it around, and then proceeds to spit it at you.
How rude.
The water hits you right in the face. After cleaning up, you scold the obviously insane man for spitting at you. That night, when you get home, you feel dizzy and start having vivid hallucinations about ancient wizards.
Like
Oh,
really
no.
bad
You gain 3
Jacob.
magic, you lose 3 mind.
But at least it's not for God.
Dear.
Why?
What, why?
I'll gain that mind back.
Yeah, you just need to doctor some more.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Spend the week serving drinks. You earn a wealth and tips and gain a couple of charm. I'm charming. One day, while in the tavern, you hear a large commotion outside. Go outside. Outside, you see a crowd of angry people carrying torches and pitchforks. Kill the dryad, they chant with a sort of synchronized cacophony. Oh, they're after me then. They're all running to the middle of the town. Working your way through the mob, you find a dryad running away. I was just looking for someone to dance with, she sobs. You shout at the top of your lungs for the crowd to stop what they're doing. You hear murmurs in the crowd. Soon enough, the crowd disperses. The dryad runs up to you and gives you a kiss on the cheek. You feel energy radiate through your body. You gain 3 finesse.
Hey. The Yawhg. It's almost here. Almost. Almost. Almost.
Yeah, almost.
Let me check on my beans.
Beans is a good boy.
Stop referencing other videos. People won't understand.
Maybe they should watch more of our good content.
Possible. One day in the gardens, you notice a beanstalk. Eat it. Chow. You pick the plant and bite into it. It tastes incredible. You feel energy coursing through you. You gain 2 physique and 3 magic. Nice. That was definitely the right choice.
You're right after doing that.
You spend the week diagnosing and tending to the sick. You gain 2 mind and earn 1 wealth. Over the course of the week, you notice yourself growing more and more spiral-shaped sores all over your body. One day, the sores begin glowing a vibrant blue. You feel your magical power grow even stronger, whilst your mind slips further and further. You gain 3 magic, you lose 3 mind. In no time, the sores are glowing so bright that they hurt to look at. Someone rushes up to you, asking if you're alright. With only a glance, you set him aflame. Then you let out a scream that shakes the earth and shatters the skulls of all nearby. Oh God.
Jesus.
No.
A river of helium cuts the ground as you walk about, reveling in your destruction. You black out. When you come to, you're at home in your bed. Your sores have faded and you feel like the disease's symptoms have passed. Luckily, I still have a decent amount of mind.
Yeah, the hospital is gone though.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I mean, it's better than incinerating somewhere else, like the palace. I mean, this is the last week. It's going to be destroyed anyway.
Chop, chop.
Yeah.
You spend the week cutting down trees for the village. You get to One day you hear a howl nearby. Okay. Followed by the rustling of leaves. Run for it. You drop what you're doing and run for your life. You hear heavy footsteps running behind you, but they don't seem to be able to keep up. Look at my legs! Don't skip leg day! Get away safely. You gain 2 physique.
The storm arrives in the night. By the morning it still rages. For 3 full days the tempest puts us through a grinder, drowns us, crushes us, ruins us.
Damn it, Tempest.
Then it ends. We see the graveyard our home has become. Our own. Does anything yet live? Is it? Are we past saving?
That's the answer.
Right, well I've got a lot of magic and a fair bit of mind. I think I'm going to go...
The conjurer.
I think I might be the conjurer, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Just looking at the town drunk and I know how sad.
You take it upon yourself to conjure up supplies for the town. With your magic, you summon supplies of the highest caliber. With little effort, you're summoning high-quality lumber and food out of nowhere. This helps the rebuilding effort significantly. Jimaru, what choice do you make?
Mind and magic.
How is my mind doing?
It's at 11.
I should be able to do this. You take it upon yourself to help the sick and injured from the Yawhg. Your hands aren't steady enough to properly suture wounds. You lose most of your pain. Oh dear.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
Well, at least you're inconsequential. You didn't make it worse.
Yeah, I figure I don't have the charm to be a leader though.
But,
So really,
you might have been able to use your money, but you only had 6 money. You've got plenty of money, plenty of physique. You could build, maybe?
You take it with yourself to help rebuild the town by hand. You rebuild homes at breakneck speed, impressing the rest of the survivors. This helps rebuilding efforts significantly.
Well, let's see how we did. And so, we set about our tasks, once more living our lives, this time in a way that we might never have expected or even wanted. But, in the end...
What ending do we get?
It was a struggle, but a struggle we never abandoned. Though our home had been stripped apart, we did not let it languish. And whether we succeed or fail, we did our best. Who knows if the Yawhg will visit again? Who knows if we will ever be or can be ready for it?
So kind of ending.
Mostly good, rather than... We got a 1 tick positive, I suppose, rather than a overly negative.
Topiary.
While the town is being rebuilt, you've started Topiary Design Firm. You charge top dollar for high-end designs of shrubs and hedges. People from across the land seek out your expertise in all things gardening related. You are even named in Time magazine's most important person of the year at one point. You live the rest of your days out comfortably.
The Yawhg changed you, probably for the better. While with the town being rebuilt, you eventually decide to retake your role as doctor in the hospital, despite failing in it.
Yeah.
There you make friends with another doctor. Oh dear. The two of you do everything together. You're inseparable. Eventually, you even decide to get an apartment and live with each other. Then your friend gets married and everything changes. Their spouse has to move away to a new town and your friend follows. You try to keep in touch by mail, but the letters start to come less and less frequently. You try to fraternise with the other doctors. While they're all nice people and nothing can compare.
While the town is being rebuilt, you decide to move out into the woods. You become the friendly local lumberjack and fashion yourself a log cabin. You spend most of your days chopping down giant trees and carrying the logs into the town gate. You make friends with the dryads in the forest and spend every weekend at their wild river parties. All in all, you lead a good life.
Well, I mean, considering how things went, you didn't have the worst ending, G. I mean, you just kind of got mediocrity.
I mean, I spent the entire 6 weeks being a doctor, and then it came to being a doctor and I sucked.
I think it was because you had that event right before the end of the week.
Yeah.
Should have left him.
Well, thank you everyone for watching. We'll probably play a couple more of these sometime in the future for the channel. And until then...
Stick around if you want some more, but for now, just sit tight and stay shiny for us.
Bye!
Bye-bye!